How's it going, everyone? This is Trixx, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to think like a Crimson player and take engagements against multiple enemies. That's one thing that you guys ask quite often on the channel, is how do I fight more than one person at once? Typically when I run up on a team, even if it's only 2 players, I find myself taking the gunfights extremely slowly, or sometimes I even just have to run away because if I don't, I'm going to get killed. So we're going to be watching this gameplay from Scythe and breaking down a lot of the fights as far as how does he go about taking on multiple players at a single time and actually coming out on top. So first things first, and this should always go without saying, is you want to get your loadout. If you're trying to push multiple players at the same time with ground loot, you're absolutely selling the bag. So right away, if you're someone who's doing that, that's going to be the first tip right there. Stop pushing players with ground loot. I know you want to try and push your pace and get as many kills as you possibly can, but if you have the opportunity to loot up super quickly and get ahead of the curve as far as getting your loadout down in the first circle, then by all means do that, and then push teams. Especially if you're not landing hot. If you land hot, it's a different story, but if you're landing somewhere like Bio and maybe there's one team there, you clear out the building and then you get your loadout. So here we have Scythe doing a little bit of Overwatch, just trying to get cracks on players, while Kaz is pushing up into the boat and trying to solidify a 1v1. Our players behind us towards control as well, just watching our back, trying to scare this one player away. We're not going to chase him though, because we still have Kaz out on the ship, so instead we're going to push with him and support him here in the bottom of the ship. We got one player right in front of us, and that's one of those things right there. Reacting to a situation and listening to comms. For sure, right away, Kaz was saying, hey, there's somebody else here, I got somebody down, or I need some help. So he's gonna send that, and this is a huge thing that you guys have to take in, for sure. If you don't take anything from this video, take this at least. When you get damage on an enemy, they are not going to instantly get their health back, or instantly plate, or instantly be able to reload. There is a moment in time, it's a very short period of time where you do have an opportunity to apply pressure, and there's nothing that they can do because they're stuck in an unfavorable animation. An unfavorable animation would be putting your plates on, reloading, climbing a ladder, climbing through a window, running away. Those are situations where the enemy cannot fight back. So when that's happening, you want to try to apply pressure and take them down. Once again, as far as being fast and using favorable animations, using the zip line and then flying over to top control without pulling your chute thanks to Mountaineer and taking basically no damage, allowing Scythe to play extremely quickly, and now from the high position that he had over on control, get more picks down towards 10s and then apply even more pressure. He's not getting a pick and then saying, you know what, I'm going to throw grenades to try and get this down. Instead, he's getting in the mix and continuing to apply pressure. Insane amount of pressure coming out from the sniper. Got multiple players down, sitting on 5 kills now in the second circle. And once again, as soon as he gets it down, this is going to be tip number 2 for you guys. As soon as you get it down, you want to pay attention to your minimap. As soon as you get a thirst on the player, just like this, you're going to see that little ping that comes up on the minimap. So when that happens, that means that there's another team around you. It's telling you where players are. If you're ever wondering, how do people find players so quickly and so easily? That's how it's done. When you engage in a team fight, before Resurgence closes, if you happen to get a down and a thirst on an enemy, it will give you pings as to where the rest of their team is. So here, able to clean up bottom living quarters. We got more teams towards the edge of circle here. But I want you guys to pay attention to the minimap. As soon as you get that finished, you see the ping on the minimap underneath the sniper ammo. That means there's a player near us still. We're now going to push across. That player probably doesn't want the smoke at this point. He'll be running for his life, just trying to escape this team. Got pings going out towards Nova. We got a truck going right down Broadway right here. We gotta get out of the way. But this is also important. So notice, as this player flies by us on this car, we don't shy away and say, holy smokes, that was a crazy situation, now we gotta just run for our lives. Instead, we say, you just messed up. The fact that you gave away your position and drove a car right by us, there's no way we're gonna let you live. So right there, applying the pressure and allowing yourself to say, hey, if there's one person in this car, or even 2 people in this car, they have to get out of the car if they want to fight us. Yes, they could use it for cover. Yes, they could try to escape, but if they happen to get downed, but if they happen to escape, hold up. As I'm trying to explain this, we're getting jumped on right away, but a savior coming out. I think that was from top control, getting the shots across to actually help us in that third party situation. And as you can see, looking at the minimap, because we have our UAV up, an insane amount of players all around us. Chaos in the absolute streets right here. But as I was saying about that car situation, is that if somebody tries to fight you from a car, they have to get out of the car if they want to fight you. You have the advantage if they happen to jump out. As long as someone doesn't get hit, you guys are typically chilling. More players over towards control, but also That's one thing I'll say right there as well. Target acquisition and also priority of who to fight. There was a player that was closer to Scythe there, sitting top headquarters. That's more important to try and scare away or kill. So instead of trying to shoot all the way across to control, having that player play the long game, he took the shots towards the player that was the main threat and then escaped the pressure without having to go down. These guys are addicted to something over intense. They're all just paparazzi down towards tents right now. It's making free beams for Scythe right here. But once again, the sniper doing work. I will say, in a situation like this, if he happens to get a kill, that would be fantastic. But since they're so far away, the probability of getting a finish here, especially with the cover of the AC and throwing down the smoke and the ability to res all their teammates, it's going to be more of a difficult fight. But sometimes you never know. Shooting across the map like that can sometimes get you some free kills. Huge shots coming out there. Top prison as well. That guy peeked for literally a half a second and got destroyed. That's one of those things, guys, for sure, too. Paying attention to your mini-map. If you look at the mini-map right now, we see a bunch of dots over towards prison, and they have no arrow above or below. That means that they are on our floor. So if we're going to push over into prison here, we're going to have an up-close fight on our hands immediately. So the SMG is going to be out. See, the SMG comes out, or the Renetti in this situation here. Pushing up, we got a player down right here. There's the assist, and now we're pushing towards the bottom showers. The bottom lockers, I should say. Washrooms. Okay. Huge plays coming out. And once again, guys, like I had mentioned, switching between the weapons and also being totally okay with not having to plate up in order to get that fight cleaned up. So, switching between weapons, using movement, breaking line of sight, going inside the restrooms as well. Able to get a bunch of kills. But the biggest thing there for sure, guys, is that he didn't see these players and then say, I had to run away. Instead, he took his chances, and this is how you level up as a player. This is how you practice. If you look at any high level or top level players, they are never running for their lives as a constant. They know when they're in a bad position, whether they don't have the plates to fight, they don't have a meta weapon, they don't have smokes, they happen to be on low ground, whatever the situation might be. But if it's an even playing field, and there's multiple players, this is where our movement comes into play. This is where our trusting our gun skill comes into play. And if you're someone who maybe doesn't have the best gun skill, then by all means, you should be practicing this type of stuff. The number one way to get better is take these riskier situations and try to make them the standard of your gameplay. This is how people get hype moments or highlights or whatever you want to call it, because they're taking on these engagements and they're actually coming out successful. If you've noticed, we've now had a good handful of crazy situations happening to Scythe. He's been successful in most of them. Right here, he's actually separated from his team, so he's gonna have to be a little bit careful here, top prison. Also, top prison, I want to point out something that's very important as well. So, if you are fighting top prison, you'll notice that it is divided up into multiple lanes from these triangular window pieces of cover along the top of prison. So if we're going to try and push along top prison here, we want to try and clear out every single lane and be careful, because if there's somebody sitting at the end on a head glitch, we can get destroyed if we're in no man's land in between these lanes. So you notice that Scythe kind of zigzagged across the top of... Oh, hold up. Getting sniped from bottom showers here. As I was saying, he was zigzagging across the top of the roof to ensure that he was able to clear his left and his right, not get caught sprinting down the middle. That's one mistake I see a lot of players make, not being aware of their cover. You want to try and keep yourself safe, so if someone does happen to pop up, you are absolutely able to fry them versus getting fried, because you have the opportunity to slide behind cover and then take the fight on even footing. In this position here, we're actually in a pretty good spot, sitting top prison, and the circle's going to collapse on us, and we don't have to jump right away. So at this point, Scythe should be looking to try and get a couple of picks before jumping down, because if you were to jump down into the middle of the courtyard, this is going to be destruction and absolute disaster. So we're probably not going to opt to do that. We're going to take advantage of our height. We see players flying in, and also they're going to be getting eliminated by each other. So this is one thing for sure too. This is super important as well. If you're trying to take fights to get more kills, you also, like I mentioned at the very beginning, take the easy fights. Take the fights where you are able to get first shots, where you have high ground, or you have an escape route. If you have no way of escaping because you, let's say, jump down into bottom courtyard here, and then everybody looks at you at the same time, yes, you had opportunities to shoot at multiple players, but the probability of shooting 6 players at once and not going down is basically impossible. So a smart play is to slow things down here a little bit, especially with Resurgence being disabled, and trying to get your picks before jumping and clearing out a lane. When I say clearing out a lane, that means, for example, if we get it down right here, see what happens? So here I'm looking at the kill feed. If we happen to get it down, I think Kaz is going to push us instead. They're bringing the fight to this enemy. Scythe getting shot out of the air. This is the dangerous situation I was talking about. He might actually die right here. Barely getting that off. There's like 1 tick left before that was the end of Scythe right there. But I was going to say, So the lane that was cleared was Kaz. He jumped over, took out this enemy, and now they have a place to land. As I say that, we now have enemies all around us, pushing up on us still even. More enemies coming up as well. I think Carnage is now dipped away for a second here. Scythe going down in the gas, but he does have a gold gas mask, so no reason to panic. We also have a buy station right to our left as well too. A ton of money. So hold on, as Carnage goes down like that, as I had mentioned, a buy station is another huge, I'll say, Crimson level play to do as well. Is staying composed end game. I'm not worried right here. We have my gold gas mask. I have money to buy back my teammate, and I also bought another gas mask as well. So I'm not gonna say we're chilling because this is kind of insane, but we're absolutely okay because our whole team is alive at the very least. So as things are winding down here towards the end, guys, let's just listen in to see what kind of craziness is going on. I'm just gonna get out of here, let you guys watch the rest of this game. Let's listen in.
Keep picking me up, keep picking me up. I have a flare, I have a flare.
Broken. Oh, he's laying on the ground. I got stuck, bro. I got stuck.
Got him. Just die, Carnage. I have a flare.
Okay, I'm dying. I'm giving up. Flare,
Broken.
I'm dead.
Last two.
I'm dead.
One more on me. One more. Nice. Last guy's landing in. Right now.
We're fucking
Yeah! Let's go!
fucking go!
Holy cow, dude!
Man, it's not fucking stopping me! I'm taking every fucking name in the whole wide world!
Dude, that was maybe that was one of the most hectic games of Rebirth I think I've ever played in my life.
So guys, an insane ending. But once again, the players, they stayed composed. A huge play coming up by Scythe to use the flare, being very aware of his team, and also live picking even from a down position. Guys, if you are down, you are not out. Just as Scythe demonstrated there when he went down from the player that shot him in the back, he was still able to get those live pings and help Carnage when he was fighting at the very end of that game, and they were able to come together and clutch it up for the win. So guys, if you learn something new and hopefully you're able to take some of these tips and apply them to your own gameplay in the future, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and once again, thanks for watching.